Sleep is one of the common things that people who suffer from brain fog, trauma, PTSD, and so forth really struggle with. And that is because, again, your brain is always on high alert to try to pick up dangers. So that's why it has a really difficult time to bring itself down. Now, there's a device I highly recommend to people, and it's on my website. You can find it, and there's a discount code, and it's called an Apollo Neuro. And what the Apollo Neuro device does, it's a wearable device you can put on your wrist or your ankle. They've done clinical studies with people who've had PTSD, who have sleep issues, who deal with anxiety and depression. And what it does is it was developed by not only a therapist, but also a neuroscientist, because after, or I should say a psychiatrist, after the sessions, what the psychiatrist found were people would do great in the session, they discuss it, go home, and still weren't sleeping or still were anxious. So they wanted to create something that actually kicks in your parasympathetic system. So your parasympathetic system is that rest and digest. It's the bringing you off of that body high that keeps you awake. So what the wearable device does, and it just connects up to your phone and has all of these different settings that you can choose, is it just sends a gentle message. It's these vibrations that either slow your nervous system down, or it can speed it up if you want to be focused and concentration. My daughter suffers from awful nightmares. And so she finds that when she wears her Apollo Neuro, and you can wear it around your ankle at night, her parasympathetic system kicks up, her adrenaline and cortisol go down, and it starts retraining her brain and her body. Because think about it, your brain has been trained this way now for how many years? Right? So it's just doing what it knows to do. So it just needs to be retrained, and your nervous system needs to be retrained to naturally start to bring down those transmitters, those neurotransmitters, and those chemicals and hormones that flow through your body. So that is one thing that I highly recommend. And to a lot of people have just crappy sleep hygiene. And that's one thing that I work with my clients a lot, is because sleep impacts all areas of your life, but it really impacts your brain. Because if you're getting under 6 hours of sleep a night, and this is a common thing around high performers, they think, look at me, I'm so awesome. I only get 6 hours of sleep, and that's because I am so high functioning. I can get so much other stuff done. When in reality, what is happening is you are building up something called amyloid plaque in your brain. So if you're sleeping less than 7 to 9 hours a night, this plaque is not getting recycled, because the time that it gets recycled out of your brain is when you sleep. So sleep is key to keeping your brain healthy. And this is why I truly feel that we are going to see this incredible onslaught of dementia in the next 5, 10, 15 years, because dementia isn't something that just happens. It's kind of like when you start having symptoms, it's like being told you have stage 4 cancer. There's not a lot you can do at that point. There are some things, and the research is coming along to support that, but you have a much better chance of staving off cancer 10, 20, 30 years prior. And that's what they found with dementia. It takes decades to form in your brain. So not only is dementia a concern, but we were talking about mental health. Well, we all know that if you don't sleep, you feel like crap. You can't focus, you can't concentrate, you're more irritable. So turning off devices before you go to bed at least 1 hour, because the blue light off of the devices messes with a really important chemical called melatonin. And our body makes melatonin to help us fall asleep. So the blue light from TVs, your phone, your iPad, whatever, can really mess with that. Or if you are going to watch it, you can get something called blue blocker sunglasses that you can put on to watch your favorite show. I know for myself, what I needed to do was I had to stop watching Netflix about an hour before I went to bed, because shows like The Queen of the South or, something crazy high adrenaline, what it would do was it would spike my own adrenaline and my cortisol watching it. And so then it would impact my sleep as well. And so Sleeping in a dark room or even getting eye shades, for someone who has, if your brain is on high alert, you need to support it to calm down. So I even got custom made earplugs, which you can go to any hearing aid center and they're about $150 to get done. And mine lasted me 10 years, has made a significant difference. So cutting out the light, cutting out the drama, and anything that amps you up before you go to bed is really significant. And doing things that are going to calm your brain, whether that means reading with an actual book in your hand, not something that's giving off blue light, whether it's meditating before you go to bed, whether it's just going out for a walk before you go to sleep. All of these things are going to impact how you sleep. So sleep is one thing that is crucial and key. And that's why I also recommend getting the Apollo Neuro, because they've done a lot of clinical studies on veterans and just people who suffer from sleep issues. And it has really been a proven tool that just, you don't have to consciously try. It is doing its job and helping your brain and your body regulate and bring you down. So sleep is crucial.
Hi, I am John Miles, the host of the Passion Struck podcast, and you're not going to want to miss some of our upcoming episodes that we do on Tuesdays and Fridays each week. These include Nate Dukes, the author of the book You'll Never Change, Ohio State All-American and NFL Pro Bowl cornerback Shawn Springs, Gail Swift, who uses the Kolbe Index to help parents better understand their kids, and Amy Malin, who is creating social impact through the power of gratitude. But until then, you can check us out on our Instagram at Passion Struck Podcast or on our YouTube channel at John R. Miles. Remember, make a choice, work hard, and step into your sharp edges.